come to the bold analysis, there were two significant meetings that happened yesterday. Three meetings. In the morning, there is a delegation from United States of America that met Rigathi Gachagua before Rigathi flew to Madeira. Then there was another meeting with the same delegation met Raila Odinga in the Capitol Hill, and the photos were actually shared by the Raila Odinga in Raila Odinga's social media pages. That also came a day after another meeting by host of Catholic clergy. They allegedly met Raila Odinga, and I've seen the newspapers running stories that probably it was a ceasefire meeting. So I want to look at what is the significance of such meetings on what exactly could be happening behind the scenes. But before that, I want to start by relaying, as the Bold family, on behalf of also my family, condolences to the family of 14 members of public passengers that perished in Naivasha accident that just happened when there was a collision between the Pwani University bus and a Matatu PSV in Nakuru Naivasha Highway. May God comfort you for those who've lost their loved ones. May God stand with you during this difficult time. I've just got that information moments before starting shooting this video. So back to what we were discussing. We were talking about the fact that there were these meetings, and these meetings were, in my understanding, and according to multiple media reports, that there were efforts to talk Raila out of the mass action. But today, Thursday 30th, Raila is charging forward, and it seems he's not stopping, or rather he's stopping at nothing. What we have seen is when he emerged from Imara Daima, he actually, the police presence there was down. We've not seen of that much of trying to neutralize, efforts to try to neutralize, even though I have realized that one of the roads, the outer ring road, has been locked. I don't know whether it's a strategy to make sure that he doesn't get to that place. But again, that's also one thing we can confirm, that outer ring road is actually locked. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at a very interesting development here. Why is it that the mass action is going on, even though there was a bit of an agreement, efforts to have behind the scene talks between the two sides? Curiously to note is that William Ruto arrived today from after the foreign tour. He actually arrived just very early in the morning. And if this meeting if these talks were going on, then I don't think he's not been part of it. But I'm told the US delegation is the delegation that was behind a handshake between Raila Odinga and William Ruto in 2018. But by all indication, the fact that Raila Odinga has gone still to the street, or rather the Thursday one is going forward, that tells you that I don't think there is any progress that has been reached so far as this is concerned. The Kenya Kwanza administration has insisted that that talks are not enshrined in the constitution, and so they will not do anything outside the constitutional framework. In short, they're saying we are not going to pursue a political solution, and they would rather see what will be the end game of the Azimio wing. Raila Odinga, on the other end, I think has been pushing for a political solution by making sure that the process of recruiting IBC is reviewed afresh, and all the other parties are involved, part of what he is calling for. Secondly, he's also demanded for policy reviews in terms that can really help in addressing the cost of living, amongst the other things. Today, I'm just following the rally from Maradaima Mukuru Kanjenga. The police are not there. I think I can tactically say they have been withdrawn. And in fact, there is no more of that drama that we saw during the last two protests. And probably it's because Wazungu wako town, the Caucasians are around. And remember, the US had given a position that the right to protest is there and is enshrined in the Constitution, and it's not supposed to be, the government is not supposed to limit the opposition's right to protest, even though they took an issue with the violence that has been coming out of it. So I want to look at it this way. What do you think is happening that could be behind the move that Raila Odinga team have not yet, or rather, he's rejected that call? Because from my understanding, I think seems to is rejected that call. I also tend to listen to what Sefuna once said, that even if you want a solution, you don't come and already create your own barriers to what's happening. Even if you want ceasefire, you can't pursue a solution by first asking the Azimio team to stop the demonstration. Now, if you ask them to stop the demonstration, then you start talks, then that is not structured. I'm like, it seems to that you've already judged. So what are the talks based on if already they have stopped? I don't know whether that's what William Ruto has been demanding, that Raila to stop the mass action first, then they will look at the rest of it, which probably do not add, because what do you even argue about if then you've stopped it? Raila Odinga seems to have realized very well that what is happening is rejecting that call because they're a bit dishonest. There is dishonesty, and that's the challenge with negotiations, with the political solutions moving forward. I saw Meg White during just a day after, moments after that meeting. She came out and said, is the US ambassador of the country. She came out and said that Ruto, she praised Ruto. Ruto is an easy man to work with, that Ruto won free and fairly, election was this and that. And so there is a bit of dishonesty because the foreign powers are wary of having a discussion about the electoral process. And this is the dilemma in it. Raila Odinga team are insisting that, look here, something went wrong. And because something went wrong, there was a bit of that foreign infiltration. So they will be comfortable. And in fact, what I also saw, that all these people projecting themselves as arbitrators are pursuing is to end the mass action. But they are not so honest in having a discussion about the other things that Raila is talking about. So that could be number one. Remember, Raila is talking about the way MPs are being bought left, right, and center. He's spoken about many other things. He's talking about now the cost of living, and even now the security details of Uhuru Kenyatta here and there. So you look at it and you will realize truly that the people that are coming are posting themselves, posing here as mediators, have taken sides. And they're simply pushing one narrative that the mass action must come to an end. That's number one. Then the second thing that I think Raila could have rejected the talks as at that early stage is managing the population. What the masses has been told is that, in politics you sell hope, that things are bad, and we are talking about the cost of living. If everything goes on well, we can have some reprieve. If you just do interviews in the street and ask 10 people, and even here, of a handshake, everyone will tell you, we don't want a handshake. Now, what William Ruto would actually go for, and let me tell you, William Ruto would actually want a handshake that would politically be injure on Raila Odinga. In fact, he will not speak about the cost of living. He will want to address it in a manner that it's not about the cost of living, but it's about Raila Odinga. So the masses doesn't want that. The masses actually want the solution on the cost of living. So according to me, I think that is what is happening, and that is what has created a bit of that anxiety. That is the big challenge that has happened, and I don't think Raila is actually going down that path of that handshake. The people are a bit dishonest about it. Even the Catholic team, they beat into that. Lastly, I also saw that, what we are not saying, and everyone else doesn't want to say, is that the mass action is a bit of a political mobilization. So there is that bit of mobilization, and it will move up into something that can create an election euphoria. You rather stick to the masses this side, because if you go the other side, you cross over and then you lose the masses. On that end, it will turn against you, and of course, the same thing can happen. The same people that are attacking Raila Odinga would actually emerge with the narratives against him and push it that he was pushing for his own personal interest. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. The fact that the mass action is going on despite of these behind the scene efforts to talk him out of it shows that nothing is still moving on.